This is a job I'm going to be starting here in a week or so.
Look at his white heaters.
And here's my buddy Tyler.
Look at his white heaters.
Yeah. So they got a couple of water heaters here which we're going to remove. We'll be putting in an 80-gallon sidearm water heater. So I wanted to talk about the things here that were not done correctly
There's a Laars.
when they were installed. And first of all, the venting is incorrect. 3-inch tied into 3-inch, and then after there they
It goes to the
they blew it up to 4-inch, and they dumped it into a little easy vent over here where it dumped into the brick chimney. Wanted to point this out. If you'll notice, the flue is
corroded.
totally corroded and deteriorated. I don't know how the thing vents. I'm not gonna touch it. I hate to even patch it up temporarily, but it doesn't seem to be spilling any flue gases, so I guess that's good. We're gonna let
Look
it go.
at that.
It only has to go another week, and then we're gonna tear this out. So this is a little Laars boiler.
Look,
What?
look at this.
Yeah.
That's a phone dumper.
This is a 160,000 BTUs, which is a little undersized for this house, but it probably
It's
would.
a Laars
It's
bar.
it's worked for many years, but I don't know how for sure.
It's a Laars.
It's plumbed with
Copper.
it's basically pumped directly into hundreds of gallons of water and hundreds of thousands of pounds of cast iron. No bypass, no primary, secondary, and
It's
it's
copper.
kind of funny. They come up
Copper.
and they cut a little couple pieces of baseboard in the basement on a separate zone on 1-inch copper.
It's copper.
And then they come over here and they take 3/4 inch. Here's the return for the main level and the upstairs. It's all squeezed through 3/4 inch. You can see they tied into these massive 2-inch pipes. 3/4 inch.
Pipes.
Didn't even blow it up when it tied in with the other main line there. So this whole house is being squeezed through a little 3/4 inch zone valve and piping.
Here's the gas.
And then the boiler just had no chance. It's been condensing, I'm sure, like a banshee for years.
Bunchy.
A banshee, that's a good
No,
word.
it's old.
It's old, yeah. It's
It's
old.
Munchkin bowler.
No, it's not a Munchkin, it's a Laars. It's a copper boiler. This boiler had never had a chance.
It's old.
And we will do a dissection of this boiler. You'll find that on another video. I have many dissections of boilers. Copper boilers are the most fun to dissect.
Copper bowlers.
To dissect because you really see the weakness of copper is that
Copper.
they condense so easily. You have to pump the heck out of them. If this boiler was pumped right and piped right,
Here's the pieces of copper.
it might have lasted longer, but
That right here.
I came in one day, they wanted to just add a zone and do some fix up, and I go, no, something's got to change here. We got an unlined brick chimney, and
Check this out.
so I gave him a price on a high efficiency boiler. That's what we're going to put in. What are we going to put in, Tyler? NTI?
NTI.
NTI. And we're going to put in a 200,000 NTI boiler, put a sidearm, take the place of these water heaters, and we're going to vent those through the sidewall. And we're going to clean up as much of this piping as we can. Some of this big, massive 2-inch, we're either going to tie onto it, or this one here is going to be in the way of some remodeling they want to do. So we may have to tear out some of this steel pipe, reroute it. The pipes over here that go in the other direction to the other part of the house are going to stay.
Who's in the kitchen?
What about the kitchen? We're going to take a radiator out of the kitchen, aren't we?
They're building a kitchen
They're going to build a new-
upstairs.
That's right. Okay, so I wanted to give a little preview of this boiler before I tore it out, and then we'll do a video on the dissection of this boiler. What we're gonna find is heat exchanger corroded up, all caked with dust and corrosion, and you can see what filth has collected on this boiler. They've been demoing this job for a couple of weeks, and you know, I'd throw a fit if this is a new boiler and they were clogging it up with all this dust, but it's only going to last another 7 days, and then we're going to rip it out.
It's dirty in there.
It's really dirty, man. I don't know how old this boiler is. I don't know, maybe
50 years.
15 years, maybe more. I don't know. I guess that's not bad for a copper boiler.
It's a copper boiler.
Let's see if we can find the date code on it. See what it, how old it is. But we'll be replacing it with a new expansion tank, much larger. This is really undersized for a house like this. With all the standing radiation that they have, it needs to be at least a number 60 tank. We'll do an NTI boiler. It has a built-in pump, and then we'll zone with pumps. So we'll zone with pumps, one for the main part of the house, one for the basement. We're going to add a zone, of course, for the sidearm water heater, and then we're going to add another zone for the kitchen. They want to take the radiator out of the kitchen and put in a toe kick or two, so we'll put that on a separate zone also.
When we look at that date.
Yeah, we'll look at the date code when we tear this thing out of here. So again, we're putting an NTI boiler in. I've been using the TRX boilers, which seem to be working out okay. Easier to get high efficiency boilers now than it is cast iron. And because of the venting issues, the vent, it towers up above the roof so far, I just can't get on top of those chimneys anymore. So we're going to... Is it firing up?
Yes.
Yeah. That old damper's working. And
food damper.
And here it goes. Gonna fire up. There it goes. So it's got to limp along a couple more days.
Let's take it out.
Then these people are going to be without heat most of the next week.
Next week.
In Denver, it's going to be in the low 20s at night and maybe in 40s during the day.
Heat for the next week.
I used to take it real personal, trying to figure out how to keep these people warm while we're doing the boiler replacements, but I finally decided it wasn't my problem. So working by myself now, it's going to take most of a week to get a new boiler in here and get them back up and running. So I hope they can
get heat.
Hope they can figure it out for a week or so. Okay, that's it on this one. Catch you on the next one.